In the highlands of ancient Mexico, long before the Spanish ships appeared on the horizon, the peoples of Mesoamerica told of a god-king who came from beyond the eastern sea. They called him Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent. His name fused two opposing symbols into one: the serpent, creature of the earth, and the Quetzal bird, creature of the sky. In him, matter and spirit were said to be reconciled. The legends describe him as fair-skinned and bearded, unlike the people he came to teach, a stranger who arrived not as a conqueror, but as a civilizer. He stepped onto the shore at a time when the old order ran on fear, and he offered something different. He was said to have taught agriculture, showing farmers how to coax maize from the soil. He gave his people the calendar, a way of measuring the turning of the seasons and the movement of the stars. He taught the working of metals and jade, guiding artisans toward beauty rather than mere utility. He brought the discipline of law, replacing chaos with order, and he encouraged the practice of peaceful worship. Where human sacrifice had been demanded by older, hungrier gods, Quetzalcoatl asked instead for offerings of flowers, incense, and bread. He was a teacher king who tried to lift his people from cruelty toward order and gentleness, and for a time, the legends say, the land knew a kind of golden peace under his guidance. But the old gods of war and blood did not yield easily to this new way. In the most repeated version of the myth, the sorcerer god Tezcatlipoca, lord of the night and keeper of the obsidian mirror, grew resentful of the peace Quetzalcoatl had built. Through cunning rather than open conflict, he tricked Quetzalcoatl into shame and exile. Some tellings say he was given a drink that revealed his own mortal weakness, loosening his composure and his judgment. Others say he was shown his own reflection in the dark mirror and could not bear what he saw staring back at him.
Look into it.
Disgraced before his own people, he could no longer rule among gods or men. So Quetzalcoatl walked toward the sea, the legends say, leaving behind the temples and fields he had once blessed. Along the way he burned what he could not carry, severing himself from the life he had known. At the shore, the stories diverge. Some say he built a raft of serpents and sailed beyond the horizon, vanishing into the unknown waters. Others say he cast himself upon a funeral pyre, choosing transformation over a slow and bitter decline. From the flames, his heart was said to rise into the morning sky and become the planet Venus, the morning star, herald of dawn, eternally circling between night and day, between death and rebirth, never fully belonging to either darkness or light. And before he vanished, whether by sea or by flame, he left one promise behind him, that he would return. It is this promise that historians and esoteric writers alike have lingered over for centuries. To the symbolists of the 19th and early 20th centuries, writers steeped in comparative mythology, Quetzalcoatl was read as one face of a much older, recurring figure, the solar hero, the civilizing teacher who descends among ignorant humanity, suffers a fall or a sacrifice, and ascends transformed into something greater than he was before. They drew lines, sometimes too eagerly, between Quetzalcoatl and other dying and returning teacher gods scattered across the world's mythologies, from Osiris in Egypt to Adonis in the Mediterranean, and even, in some interpretations, to Christ. Whether these comparisons reveal a genuine shared root running beneath human belief, or simply the mind's tendency to dream the same dream in different languages and different lands, remains a matter for the listener to judge rather than the storyteller to declare. Whatever the truth behind the myth, history took a darker and far more consequential turn when belief in his prophecy collided with reality. When Hernan Cortés landed on the coast in 1519, some accounts claim that Moctezuma II and his court wondered, with growing unease, whether the foreign captain might actually be Quetzalcoatl himself, returning at last as the old legends had promised. That hesitation, whether genuinely felt or later exaggerated by Spanish chroniclers eager to justify their conquest, that became woven into the tragedy that followed. So the feathered serpent remains two things at once, suspended across centuries of memory, a king remembered as a bringer of culture, learning, and peace, and a symbol, serpent and bird, earth and heaven, fall and resurrection, woven into the great recurring pattern that mythologists have long traced across the religions and imaginations of the world. Please do subscribe.